Sup? I tried to record this video twice. The first time my camera battery kept dying. The second time I yapped on for 20 minutes about frisbees. So here we are again trying to record this the third time. I'm just doing it in the bag. MA2 rated player, for those who care. 880 rated, I think officially on the PDGA. I've got about discs in bag just to kind of set the tone a little bit. I've got putters. Usually my distance for putters are like 270 to 330. Mid ranges are like 300 to 380 depending on wind and how hard I want to throw them. Fairways like 350 to 400, and then distance drivers are like 400 plus. Just kind of like wind can come into play, a bunch of different factors can come into play on why I choose one or the other, but that's kind of like the vibe we're going for here. Lefty backhand dominant, have a lefty forehand too. I think that's it, so let's do the thing. Starting off up top in the putters like a sane human being. We're gonna we got P2X's. This is the putting putter of choice for this year. Medium depth, a little bit larger diameter than a PA3, good glide, great feeling bead, blunt nose, good stability for putting. These have been pretty great so far. Going on to throwing putters, we've got the overstable throwing putter, which is a Hooligan Discs Cash from the Gateway Discs production. This has got the 2-year anniversary Scorpion stamp. This thing is sick. It's overstable, almost like an approach disc, but has a putter feel and putter glide. Amazing thrower. Also, I'm on Team Hooligan Discs amateur team as well for the season. Re-signed for 2025, so that's cool. This is money. Get yourself one on hooligandiscs.com or your favorite retailer. Going into my other throwing putter for the straight slot is a 2020 Tour Series Luna. This is a money run. If you know, you know. Torque resistant, but super straight. This thing already has an ace on it from this year. Third shot ace, not a real one, but super straight, super reliable. Not super wind resistant, but when I need a putter shot that can go mid-range distances or just nice, spinny, soft upshots, this thing wins every single time. Understable throwing putter, 750 PA5. These things are amazing. If you haven't tried one, get one. Hyzer flip machines, Hyzer flip stand-up super straights, Hyzer flip turnovers, Hyzer flip even like soft 200-foot shots. This thing has been money. Great utility. Doesn't get thrown a ton, but whenever I need it, I usually throw it way better than I could have ever expected to. Awesome frisbee. Approach discs, I've got two. One's in the top pocket and one's in the main pocket because it's just how it worked out. Most overstable, Prodigy Disc A2. This is a special blend A2 from the mystery box. That's why there's a double stamp. Wicked overstable. Exactly what kind of stability you wish a zone had all the time. This just has it. Great hand feel. Not all of them are super flat, but this one's pretty flat with a mild shoulder. Gets the job done. Forehand, backhand, amazing. New addition. I normally bag a zone for this slot, but I got one of these because I saw Big Germ throwing them super well, and I wanted to be like Big Germ. Axiom Eclipse Tempo from the MVP Open 2024 release. This thing is the closest thing to a zone clone that's on the market. It kind of overlaps a bit with the Cash in a sense because it kind of has like approach disc feel, putter glide, but still approach disc overstability. Super interesting disc. I've heard the other plastics are less stable than this, so it probably stands better on its own, and like the new Proton Softs or the new Particle Glow that I believe Big Germ's Tour Series is in, but this thing as an overstable approach disc has been pretty great, and it's even a little bit on the softer side too because of the Eclipse plastic, so it kind of grabs the ground super nice. Anyways, moving on. Yep. I'm just going to go ahead and get these out of the way. These are kind of fun frisbees. I've got 3 utility / casual round / rarely ever get thrown discs, but they're more for fun because like enjoy the sport, don't care about having a pro bag all the time. Watermelon pitch, it's a beadless glitch. Yes, and it looks like a watermelon, so that's kind of neat. K1 Glow Berg, love it or hate it, it's fun for what it is. Might get a range because the Cosmic Neutron ranges look sick, but this thing is nice and overstable for a Berg. And honestly, for upshots and touchy approach shots, they have more glide than you think when you spin them. So that's probably a terrible take. And then a Rolo with my second sponsor, Team Stamp of Team Infinite Discs. Just happy to be back for 2025 for Team Infinite. It was a great time last year. The team's great, the people are great, and that's my retailer of choice, hence why for the Cash I should have said shop at Infinite Discs, linked in the description. Going into mid-ranges, I'm talking fast because I don't want this to be long. Sorry. Most understable, Paradox. Probably going to get swapped out with the new Hooligan Disc Flip. It's on the way per Garrett. Thanks, Garrett. Super flippy, hyzer flip to turn. Won't go very far, but when you need kind of a longer PA5, this thing is great and more understable. So this is a super nice utility. Slightly understable mid-range is this Iron Samurai 3 MD3 that's been thrown for 2 years and really beat up. This is like a hyzer flip, slow drift, maybe fade at the end. Not super wind resistant anymore, but this thing is just super nice for kind of gap shots, tight shots, or just like hyzer flip push shots, which has been super nice. New release, Buzzsaw. How could you not want to throw one of these? Not as overstable as a stock Z run, not as quite flippy as the 20-year run. Nice in-between stability. You hit it hard, hit it flat, pushes for forever. Baby fade, can handle some wind. This thing's awesome. Last but not least for mid-ranges, we've got the Pyro from Axiom Discs. This is a green-on-green Prism Proton Plastic Pyro. Enough P's to make you want to pee yourself. This thing's been pretty great. Forehand, backhand, mid-range slot, longer A2, longer tempo kind of slot, or just smack it on a flex backhand for a mid-range. Super wind resistant. This thing's amazing. Shout out Reese, he gave me that one, and it kind of up here at elevation, because I'm in Colorado, it's the perfect stability. We're down at sea level. They can kind of beat in when you throw harder and straighten out like a good overstable Rock 3 and less like an overstable mid. Fairways. Fairways are 6 speeds to 8 speeds. Don't argue with me. I'm just objectively right and you're wrong. Starting with the slower stuff, we have a resistor, 6-speed Firebird. I don't think I have to say anymore. It's a super fun utility, wind resistant, step up from my next overstable driver. This thing's a blast. A flippy guy, we've got this old 400G Prodigy F3. Super beat up, 171 gram. Everything in here is kind of max weight. If not, I'll make sure to point out that it's not. Throw it on hyzer, always going to turn over. No matter how hard you throw it, unless you throw it super soft with no spin, this thing is going to turn over. Super reliable. It's amazing. New addition, Team Stamp Metal Flake Color Glow Exodus from Infinite Discs. This thing is super straight. It kind of like hyzer flips and holds turn, but it won't burn over. Interesting slot. Goes kind of far. Still kind of playing around with it. Who knows on that one? And then the workhorse is a Test Flight Athena, whatever you want to call it. This thing is great. It's an overstable run of Athenas. The stock ESP/6 claw ESP runs were known for being a little bit straighter, kind of like how you see pros throw T-birds. That's what a stock ESP Luna flies like. These test flights and the Protos and the Zs have been known to be more overstable, which is what I wanted out of this, is being like an Anheuser / just harder thrower. This dependability is super, super nice. Alright, my bag fell over and you didn't tell me. Going into control drivers or hybrid drivers, we want to call them, the 9 to 11-ish speed slot. We've got Virus, flippy 9 speed. Doesn't get thrown a bunch, but when I do throw it, nice hyzer flips, can get down in rollers, stuff like that. Super, super cool. Tesla, Throw Joe's dyed Tesla my fiance bought for me. It's like a pushy Sexton Firebird if I had to compare the stability. I have a beat-in Sexton Firebird right here that's super pushy, not quite as overstable as it used to be, but still pretty reliable and is a pretty good forehand disc. This is kind of its equivalent, but it has a little bit more bite because it's newer than this 3-year forehand-only disc Sexton Firebird. So that's these two. They're kind of complements to each other depending on the day. Tesla's been more backhand. Firebird's been more forehand. I know for a flat top MVP driver that's going to confuse a lot of people, but I kind of learned how to throw forehands with this Firebird, so it has sentiment or something. Utility overstable 9-speed Captain's Raptor. It's a Captain's Raptor. This is the first one I ever bought, and it still is overstable. If anything, when I throw it really hard, it goes like 30 or 50 feet further out than I expect it to, and it's still really overstable. It's a Captain's Raptor. Another utility one is this Finish Line Discs Era. This is a launch edition that I bought used. It's a nice flippy 10-speed and just kind of crushes. This has the opportunity to get swapped with another Hooligan Discs mold, as I have a couple more of their new stuff coming in because I wanted the Gateway stuff. The Lone Star stuff was fine, nothing bad about it, but I wanted to try the newer stuff. So yeah, good disc for what it is. Doesn't get thrown a ton, but it has its utility for sure. And then drivers. Distance drivers right now, I've got 5 in the bag. Most of them are overstable except for one. First two, we're gonna go over here. Emperors. I-blend, Luster C-blend is the orange. This is a Run 19 Luster C-blend. Blitz Disc Golf, Standstill God himself, crushes on these and raved about them. I realized I have it on the shelf, and like the second round ever with this, I threw one of my furthest shots ever at like 490 feet with this disc on an Anheuser tight flex to fade. This thing's amazing. Gonna be a workhorse all year. Super excited to have that in the bag. And then the iBlend, same thing. It's a little bit flatter than most iBlends. It's a 171. This thing is like a hyzer flip full flight machine. It is amazing. I threw like a 500-foot shot for the first time ever with this thing. The throw before the orange one, this thing was absolutely incredible. Blew my mind. Decent hyzer, flip up, turn, fade, 500 feet. Was absolutely insane. This thing is going to be more of like a wind-dependent bomber or a hyzer flip stand-up kind of shot until I can figure out some stabilities in these other ones. But yeah, these things crush. Go pick up an Emperor today. I cannot stress that. Emperor, no matter the plastic, just crush. So going into the other three, we've got two destroyers. This is a second run Halo destroyer. If you know, you know. These things are like the overstable, beat in to be super glidey bombers. This thing always seems to fly further than I expect it to. It's a great workhorse. It's got some sentiment. I bought it in 2021, shortly after I started playing, and this thing has just been a just great, dependable, overstable driver. This thing's probably not going anywhere, but we'll see what happens because I have two Hooligan Discs Yeats coming in, which are like their dependable 12-speed. I believe that they're closer to the Emperor in stabilities, but I really think these two discs are going to overlap because this is just a solar stamped Star Destroyer that Infinite Discs ran a year or two ago. Super pretty stamp, but this is like typical stock Star Destroyer meat hook destroyer. So these two might fly similar. This one might be more overstable, but I may not need its stability, and this might get swapped out with one of the new Hooligan Discs drivers, just because I have a feeling that those new Primo or Vision Yeats are going to be bombers out of the box. And finally, one of the discs that my buddy Keith gave me that you've probably seen in one of the like 3 videos I've posted, because I'm a professional YouTuber for sure. This is a patent pending Nitro from MVP Discs. It's actually got some good heartbeat dome to it. I believe this was the plastic that was ran before MVP moved to in-house production, but this is everything you want an overstable driver to be. You hammer it hard and flat, it punches forward with a ton of glides, super good overstability. I can hammer on this thing on an ungodly amount of anhyzer with enough height, and it fights all the way out and still fades. This is a great, like a distance overstable driver that I feel like is hard for companies to make nowadays. And this one is so good, it's single-handedly the reason why I want MVP to make more domey distance drivers is because of this disc. It is absolutely money. I wish I had more of them, but this is a nice 173 max weight patent pending Nitro that, unless it straightens out on me, and even if it does straighten out, it's probably not coming out of the bag anytime soon. Absolutely love this Frisbee. That's the bag. I think I might have just talked for 15 minutes straight without taking a breath. The bag itself is a Squatch Legend 2.0. It doesn't have any of the 3.0 features like the upgraded D-rings or like the bigger phone pouch, but it gets the job done. I bought it in 2021 or 2022 while I was in college. It's been holding up fantastic. Absolutely amazing bag. I mean, I think I have 30 discs laying on the floor in front of me because I decided to throw them on the ground instead of put them back in my bag. And it's been holding up great. It's got enough, the side pockets are big enough for my 40-ounce Hydro Flask and a secondary 32-ounce water bottle. Side pockets can hold towels, minis, hoodies if it gets too hot. It's a fantastic bag. Couldn't recommend it enough. And yeah, that's the bag, y'all. Thanks.